Welcome to Shenzhen. This city is known as the Silicon Valley of China. So come along with us as we spend the next 4 days exploring what this city has to offer.
So since Shenzhen is the technology hub of China and I have a list of technology items I would like to buy, we're going to do some shopping.
Yes, and we also this morning checked out the prices on Amazon, so we're going to do some cost comparison and let you know if you can really get some deals here.
All right, so we stopped in the first tech mall and it was a success. I found this SD card. It's a SanDisk Pro Extreme, 128 gigs, which usually runs around $30 in the US, and I got it for 100 RMB.
I had actually cracked the screen protector on my iPhone, so I went into a store. She put a brand new screen protector on for me, and it was only 20 RMB. I paid $30 in the US for a Gorilla Glass screen cover. And then I also got this very cool case and a little lanyard, and each the case and the lanyard were just 25 RMB each. So fantastic deal. And I think my phone looks cool now.
The day continues to be a success. I was able to get a new selfie stick and ND filters for our Insta360 camera at an actual Insta360 store, and I saved probably about $20–25 off of what I would have paid in the US. Then we also got an SSD hard drive, which I saved probably about $20 on.
Yeah, it was a 2 terabytes, so it's pretty good size, and it was a really good speed as well. We also got 2 basically like Apple compatible trackers to put in our luggage. If we bought those in the US, it'd be about 50 bucks, and instead we paid 16 for 2, so very good deal.
So we came back to our hotel to drop off all our purchases, and our hotel is right next to the Futian train and metro station.
Yeah, so this is actually the first city we've used the metro in, which through Alipay, there is an actual transport button. It senses what city you're in, and you just enter your passport information, as always, and then you can just scan your phone as your ticket into and out of the metro. So that was super convenient, and it was very affordable. It was only 2 yuan each way. So that was great. But now, after all of that shopping, we've built up an appetite, and it is time to go get some dinner. So we're going to hop back on the metro.
The wait was over an hour and a half for this Michelin Bib Gourmand pigeon restaurant, but let me tell you, it was well worth the wait.
Right, so this restaurant is famous for its pigeon, and we got it every way you could. We have 2 roasted pigeons, we got the pigeon salad, we have the pigeon clay pot rice, and we got fried pigeon. So I have my gloves on and we're ready to dig in.
Today we took a 2-hour-long DD from Shenzhen to Chimelong Ocean Kingdom. which has a Guinness World Record for the largest aquarium in the whole world.
Yeah, we are super excited. We love aquariums. We've been to the Atlanta Aquarium, the Osaka Aquarium. We've been to the one in Genoa in Italy, and we even dove with sharks at the one in the Dubai Mall. So to get to go to the world's largest aquarium is super exciting. I got our tickets on trip.com. We got a deal for foreigners that makes it a little bit cheaper. And now it is about 11 o'clock. We are planning to stay here till close because I heard they have a drone show at the end of the day. So come along with us.
I paid about $4 to buy some fish to feed the walruses, and it was well worth it. We thought it was very funny that they would spit water to chase off the birds to ensure they didn't have to share their lunch. After checking out a few of the outdoor exhibits, we decided to get on a roller coaster. That's right, this place has roller coasters. It's kind of half theme park, half aquarium, and we're here for it. They're getting hungry, so we stopped for lunch.
And I have to say the lunch here at Chimelong Park is actually pretty decent and a very reasonable price. When we were at the safari park, David got the steak, which was kind of gross, and I got a delicious entire roast chicken. I didn't think it was gonna be an entire roast chicken, it just said chicken, and it was a chicken. Here, we both decided to get the fried chicken cutlet because the chicken was good at the last place. The fried chicken cutlet was very good. It did have a spaghetti that had a slightly like sweet kind of tomato sauce on it, so it's a little weird, but overall pretty good. And then some like nice deep fried potato wedges. So overall quite tasty, and we're ready to keep going. I think the penguins are around the corner.
Well, that was the most amazing penguin exhibit we've ever been through. Never been through a penguin tunnel before. That was really cool.
It was really neat to see them swim, and they like get what we called with the dogs the zoomies, where they go really, really fast before they then like vault themselves out of the water. It was very cool to see from that perspective. And now we can both say that we have not set a foot on Antarctica, but a hand.
In front of the giant tank, they have a section of glass on display, so you can see just how thick it is. So we just rode the parrot coaster, which was pretty intense.
Yeah, definitely more than I thought it would be, but it holds the record for the longest wing coaster, and it actually hits top speeds of 67 miles per hour, so that was fun. Well, we got here at 11 and it is now 5 o'clock. We have officially made it through the entire park. Of course, we did not ride all the rides and we did not see all of the animal shows. They have a sea lion show, they have a dolphin show, and they have a beluga whale show. So we are going to go see the 5:45 beluga whale show. The guy told us that the venue opens up at 5:15, so we can grab a seat then. In the meantime, we've grabbed a lemon tea with the cutest straw ever.
The beluga whale show was really cool, and it was nice that they gave them a nice little break in between with a little video on the screen.
Yeah, so they got to kind of swim around.
Yeah.
And it was a short show too. I think it was like 20 minutes total. Next, we are going to try to go see the 5D Theater because that has some Guinness World Records as well. The next showing for that is 7, so I think we're going to try to grab some ice cream first. We asked one of the employees and they said you just need to line up like 10 or 15 minutes before the show.
The 5D theater experience was great. Not only was the movie in 3D, but the seats moved, smells were pumped in, water was sprayed, crabs scratched at the back of our legs, and at one point it even snowed. By the time we got out of the theater, they were wrapping up the light parade, so we hustled to get a good spot for the final show. We're now at the Zhuhai Railway Station waiting on our 9:45 train.
Yeah, I felt very confident this morning that we would be able to get a DD driver to drive us the 2 hours here and then go back. But I felt less confident that at 8:30 at night when the late show ended that we would be able to get somebody who was willing to stay out till like midnight to get us back home. So I decided I would book the train. The train does have a stopover in Guangzhou South Railway Station for 30 minutes, and then we head on to Shenzhen North. So obviously this trip is better to make out of Guangzhou, but there were so many other things that we wanted to do there, including the Chimelong Safari Park, that we decided we would do it from Shenzhen. And it was an absolutely awesome day. Like literally one of my favorite days ever. Watching the walrus like spit water at the birds to chase them away was fantastic. Watching the bears eating carrots was also very cool. And then of course seeing that world's largest aquarium tank was so impressive. And then the drone show at the end with the fireworks. I mean, it was just a spectacular day. Totally worth all the travel and effort. I don't think we're gonna be back at our hotel until about 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning, but we don't have a lot planned for tomorrow, so that's okay.
So we're pretty tired after walking all around yesterday at the park, and then it's been raining all day here, so we just kind of hung out in the room.
Yeah, we got some work done. David did some editing. I got some more planning for our little mini trip to the US and Alaska done. And now, though, we are starving. It is 4 o'clock, so we are going to go out and find some food. Hopefully the rain lets up, because I would really love to go see the Shenzhen light show. Supposedly they light up a ton of buildings, and the place to see it is the Civic Center. It happens every weekend, Friday, Saturday night at 7, 8, and 9. So fingers crossed we can go see that tonight.
I don't know why, but this has happened. I guess they're worried about us getting the mean sweats, and this is very cooling, very different.
Well, we just finished up our dinner at Long Time Ago Mutton, and it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I would say it was one of my favorite meals that I've had this far in China. The coolest thing was that they had this little tabletop grill that like auto-rotated all of your skewers, and our waitress lady, she would put the skewers on for us, and then she would move them to the top rack so they could stay warm whenever the time was up, so we didn't have to really do anything. You know, I find that kind of annoying about Korean barbecue sometimes, how much of your like effort is involved in preparing the food. The skewers there were super delicious. They weren't too gamey. They had a bunch of little like dipping seasonings that you could use. Really, really fantastic. But now we have come to the Civic Center to watch the light show. They did have some posters out front that had like a reservation QR code thing that you had to scan through WeChat. But when we came up to the front, they didn't care. We didn't have to actually go through that. We found that they use those, I think, when things are particularly crowded or busy for crowd control to limit the number of people that can enter. And I don't know if you can see behind us, but there aren't that many people here right now. So we're excited to see the show. Apparently in the summer, it's at 7:30, 8:30, and 9:30. And during the winter, it is at 7, 8, and 9.
So we saw this on a YouTube video, and I'm super excited to try it. We're going to attempt to get a tea delivered via a drone.
Yeah, David spent, I don't know, like 30 minutes, an hour trying to figure out how we do this and where they're located. And ironically, this one is literally 2 steps away from our hotel, which is the UR Cove. So we're going to scan the code and see if we can get one ordered.
So in a disappointing turn of events, I don't think that drone station is working. It kept giving us an error message that said that the delivery location was outside of the delivery area.
Yeah, we even copy and pasted the address in Chinese characters and it still gave the same message. We tried Chaggy, we tried Haiti, and we tried Manor Coffee. Couldn't get any of them to work. So we decided we still wanted to try Manor Coffee because I do believe it is a Chinese brand kind of in competition with Luckin. So we walked around the corner and got ourselves coffees. I got the cheese iced latte and David got the cinnamon jasmine iced latte. Both were very delicious. So at least we had some very delicious coffees. Next, I actually think we're gonna get something to eat because it's around 1 o'clock and the only thing we've had is those coffees.
So lunch at Grandma's home was fantastic yet again. We had it the first time in Nanning, and their chicken is to die for.
Yeah, that like slow cooked clay pot chicken, just so good. One of the best things that we had in China, so we had to go back and have it again, and it was just as good at this location. We also got the Beijing style duck with these fresh pancakes. Super, super delicious. Highly recommend that place. Now we have ridden the metro about 40 minutes to Huanle or Happy Harbor, depending on the translation I've seen. And the reason we have come here is, you can see behind us, this giant observation wheel. I haven't seen it move since we've been here, so hopefully it is operating today, but we're gonna go check it out.
All right, so luckily there was a ticket counter, so we didn't have to mess spending QR codes or apps.
Yeah, we actually have paper tickets, and it was 150 each or 300 RMB total to ride the Ferris wheel, and I am super excited. It is like one of those large observation wheels, and apparently each pod holds like up to like 30 people, so it's kind of similar to the one that we rode in Las Vegas.
So we found out this wheel is 128 meters tall. For reference, the high roller in Las Vegas is 107 meters tall.
Yeah, and that is one of the reasons that I couldn't perceive the movement. It was actually running. It just moves very, very slowly.
After enjoying the views from the observation wheel, we headed inside the shopping center for a couple of teas. When we came back outside, they were putting on a traditional Chinese lion dance.
Well, in the little park in front of the mall, there was a lion dance performance.
Yeah, it was very cool. They had some kids doing some martial arts too. Definitely a good way to kill about 45 minutes while we were waiting for the sky to get nice and dark so we can really appreciate that Ferris wheel all lit up. So So this was our room for the past 5 nights at the UR Cove Futian in Shenzhen. You can see here we had some closet space with luggage storage, and then we had a nice mirror and vanity area with some storage underneath. Then right here we had the water closet with a bidet, and then we had the shower, which had great water pressure. Through here, you can see there was like a little coffee set up. In here was the safe, and then that right there was the mini fridge. You can see here we have a nice king-size bed. It's pretty firm. 2 nightstands with little reading lamps, a little artwork on the wall. There's a single desk chair and table. Nice big TV. Couldn't hook our fire stick up to that one though, couldn't get behind it. And then here you can see we have a view out to the main courtyard. One other important thing to know about this hotel is that it had a fantastic laundry room with industrial washers and dryers, which we desperately needed at this point in our trip. But now for that cost breakdown. For 5 nights in that beautiful hotel, we spent $0. We used 25,000 of David's Hyatt points for that stay. We spent $141 on transportation, $119 on entertainment, just $31 at bars and on alcohol, $217 at restaurants, and just $11 on groceries, which was a few snacks. That grand total, $519, or just $104 per day. Not included in that total was the DD that we took from Guangzhou to Shenzhen for just $49. It was basically the same price as taking the train. And then we also did not include all of that tech shopping we did that we showed you at the beginning of the video. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them down below. If you haven't already, check out last week's video where we explore the city of Guangzhou.